Welcome back to my channel. Let's spice things up with some pepper steak today. Stay tuned. All right, so let's get started. I have about 3 pounds of steak right here. You can use sirloin, you can use chuck, you can use shank, whatever your preference is. Something that's easy to cut in strips. I rather strip it because it's pepper steak instead of chunking it. And I'm gonna be, trimming off some of this excessive fat. Some people always ask, "How you cut the fat off?" I want some of that fat gone. All right, I already have my seasoning cut up to the side. Most of the stuff I'm using is already displayed right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and list them in my description box so you don't have to worry about missing out on anything. So once I've finished cutting it up, I'm gonna go ahead and wash it off with some lime and just some water, just lime and water, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drain it and get everything going. All right, so after washing it, I have this over the sink strainer. You can also pick this up on my Amazon. I'll put the link in my description box. Makes everything so much easier. And I'm also gonna put a paper towel in the bowl so I can get some of the excessive water off as well, so I can go ahead and season the meat up as well. So you can also use the paper towel just to pat dry the meat. Just like I said, get that excessive water off. And I'm gonna start with one of my favorite seasoning, which is my Maggi Jamaica all-purpose seasoning. It's optional. You can use any all-purpose seasoning if you don't have access to Maggi. And I'm also gonna list all my ingredients and the spices that I'm using in my description box. I have Worcestershire sauce. I'll be using my jerk sauce, my Grace Jamaican browning. Probably just dab about a half to 1 teaspoon. You can also burn your sugar, which is what browning is. That's another option. I have my green seasoning, which is a blended version of all the fresh seasoning that I always use on my when I'm cooking. That's also on this channel as well. And I'm going to be putting about a teaspoon of the jerk seasoning on here. This is Walker's Wood, but you can make your own fresh jerk seasoning as well. All right, let's get cracking with some black pepper. You can also use fresh black pepper if you don't have a black pepper grinder. I'm also going to be adding some sea salt as well and spicing things up from here so I can get to massaging all my seasoning in. You don't even have to let this marinate. I am getting right into it, so stay tuned. All right, just massage that seasoning in, and the steak is already so thin. It's gonna be flavorful right through. You don't even have to marinate it, and it's ready within less than anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. Fry it up and just continue to add your ingredients. So I'm just gonna drop it in the hot frying pan. I'm using coconut oil, of course. And like I said, I'm just gonna toss it around until the pink is gone, because you don't want to overcook it because it's gonna be too chewy. So like I said, anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes should do the job. Yeah, just go ahead and toss it around the frying pan. Just get all that pink out. If you like your steak rare, you can fry it for less time, but 5 to 7 minutes, like I said, should do the job. It's already seasoned. Then I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the frying pan and head on to the next step. All right, so most of that pink is gone. I'm gonna go ahead and remove it, put it back in that same container, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the pan ready. I'm gonna drop a little bit more coconut oil in so I can fry up all my natural seasoning. It's good to use fresh seasoning as well as, with a little powder seasoning, and along with my green seasoning that I store in my refrigerator. And don't forget to make it and tell me if you try it. Tell me how you like it. Just does something to your food. Okay, there's the coconut oil, which is a must. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just add the fresh scallion, spring onions. Oops, I didn't even crush my pimento seeds. I'm gonna have to crush those because I don't like to put them in any of my meals whole, because I don't want to mistakenly bite one of them. They're not very tasteful when you bite into one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions. Have the fire on low to medium heat. I don't add tomatoes to my pepper steak. If you like tomatoes in yours, it's optional, you could do so, but I'm not adding any tomatoes. I have fresh ginger, fresh garlic, the allspice, like I said, which is, we call it pimento seeds, and I have about half of Scotch bonnet pepper. That pepper is a little hot, so I didn't want to add the whole pepper, and definitely some fresh thyme as well. So at this stage, I'm tossing the seasoning and letting them fry up for about anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes. Don't overcook them, okay? They'll be nice just like this. Let me go ahead and dab some Worcestershire sauce in. Probably about a tablespoon is what I tossed in. I also add, okay, some more seasoning left back on the plate. Let me drop those in. I also add a little bit of ginger wine to this. There it is, my stone ginger wine. Tastes delicious in all my meals. You can also use red wine, but the ginger wine is a great flavor as well. All right, so just go ahead and toss the seasoning in the pan. The oil is already added. The meat is already seasoned, so I'm not going to be adding too much more seasoning here other than what I'm using to make the gravy. I'm going to be adding a little water, not too much, probably anywhere from 1/4 cup, I'd say, just to get the gravy going. And to make the sauce, I'll also be using a little ketchup. You can also use some soy sauce as well, just a little, not too much. I didn't use any soy sauce in this one because I use a Worcestershire sauce, and I also have my sweet chili sauce. That's that Frank's Red Hot, just like the commercials say. I put that on everything. Frank's Red Hot is one of the best chili sauce I've ever tried. This is not a commercial for Frank's, but it really tastes good on everything that you're making. Even put it in some oxtail, put it in anything. It's really good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop this meat back in. I'm putting all the juices in, so I didn't add any more water to the pan while it was sitting over there. So just a little runoff that was in the container is what's basically coming on. And like I said, you don't want to add too much water for it to lose the flavor, and you're gonna have to add more seasoning. As you can see, just taste your pot as you go along to see if it does need any more powder seasoning or any more salt, or if you want it more spicy. But I'm not adding anything else much from here. All right, let me go ahead and remove this pepper because I don't want it to be over spicy. Then my kids will be so mad they can't even eat it. And let me just go ahead and remove that taste piece, okay? And I'm gonna thicken it up with some bread. I usually save the back of the bread and use it to thicken the gravy. You can also use cornstarch or flour. That's another alternative, but the bread is very flavorful in the gravy. So as we're moving right along, The meat is already cooked. The season is already cooked. I'm just basically adding my tricolor peppers so I could give it that nice little pop. And I'm also adding a little bit more of my green seasoning. And then I'm just going to cover it up and let it simmer for about another 5 minutes, and that's it. So this is less than 30 minutes, another within, ready in 30 minutes meal. And everyone's been messaging me, asking me what type of cookware am I using. These are by Williams Sonoma. Any of the other tools also will be on my Amazon storefront, so you can check those out as well. Everything looks great. Cover up and I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, so it's been 5 minutes. Everything is looking great. I'm having this with some white rice, some fried plantain, a little salad. And again, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.